Welcome to the World of Horror podcast with Mom and Mac. I'm Mom.
And I'm Mac.
This is the podcast where we share our love of international horror. Everyone has their fears, but we are not afraid of subtitles. Disclaimers for adult language and spoilers. Hi, Mac. How's it going?
Hi, Mom. It's going okay. I was just telling you off the air that yesterday Alan and I bought a car together.
So exciting.
This is very exciting. It's a really nice red Camry, 2026 Toyota Camry. And it feels like torture when you try to buy a car. And at first, Alan did not understand the concept of Carvana. But afterwards, he was like, I fully understand why anybody would choose to do that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking as you were telling me, I wonder what the stipulations are to use Carvana.
Yeah, because I almost sold my car through Carvana, and they had told me like, oh, we'll give you $5,000. But here's the thing. My car also had transmission. Like last time I got it serviced, they were like, you're going to have to get this fixed. One tire was definitely kind of always leaking. Tire pressure light was broken. Maintenance required. Huge crack on windshield. Front bumper was cracked. Side mirror was also messed up. So I figured that maybe that estimate would have gone down once they saw it.
Yeah.
And the place that we gave it to knew all these things because that's the place I got it serviced. So maybe that was a mistake to try it. But they just gave me $1,000. But I was like, I don't want to deal with it. So
yeah. Oh, you've had that car forever. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So weird. I got it at that delership in high school.
Wow.
Yeah. And my gender was different on my license. I'm sure it's like been a complete turnover of staff, but yeah, exact same place.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah. I can't remember where I got Dexter. But it'd be funny if it was the same place. That was the last time I bought a car. Yeah, he was a good car. And then I hit a possum one time on my way to work.
Oh, no.
And screwed up the bumper. Poor possum. And I used to work this job where I had to be there at 4 a.m. So I guess it was possum hour, on that street. I knew I was going to hit him too. It's the worst feeling in the world.
And you're like, well, I'm going to hit him. I could swerve and maybe die also. But yeah. I think I'm just going to commit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I've done that with a possum before. So you're not alone.
But then Dexter had a lot of problems and my parents gave me their car. But now I would like a new car. But
the feeling is so when you just feel like I'm fucking done with this piece of shit car.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do want to get the Catio done this year. So maybe in the next couple of years, I'll get a new car. I got to really psych myself up for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely bring a partner when you're going. Because I probably would have burned the place down had it just been me.
Yeah.
Alan was holding me back.
Yeah, that flip a table feeling, just like, this is insane. I know.
And then even when we got the keys, he was like, oh, let me show you like everything on the steering wheel and set up your Apple CarPlay. And I wanted to be so rude and just be like, let us go. Let's fucking go. But we sat there. And then he kept, again, doing car salesman stuff. And at this point, we had paid for the vehicle. So it's like, you literally don't have to do this anymore. Like, please don't debase yourself anymore. And he's like, kept turning to me like, and because he was saying, because it's a hybrid, like, oh, you don't want to just hit the gas immediately. And turns to me. He's like, because you look like you like to race.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I?
No.
And then he kept turning and saying, and I'm saying, because you look like you like to race. Okay. Sure. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I just got done grading a bunch of stuff before we started this. And so that part is done. I checked that off my to-do list. And
Nice.
I started a to-do list for tomorrow, and I have to get my courses set up because I go back in the classroom on Thursday. So I just have to make sure my classes are all good to go. So that'll probably take Monday and Tuesday. But yesterday I went and had lunch with my sister. And before that, I went to a bunch of thrift stores in a nearby town. And I got a lot of plates. So secondhand stores are interesting. The first one I went to was a hospice store. And so, everything in there is from a dead person.
Oh.
And that's just a weird feeling to me.
But the same is probably true of Goodwill, right?
Yeah, a lot of this stuff there, I'm sure. But then you have to wonder about the haunted element. Like,
that's true.
Is something haunted? So I don't think I'm ever going to buy furniture or clothing, like secondhand.
From that place.
At least from a hospice place. But then I went to a couple other places. There's one, it's not Salvation Army, but it's like Salvation Army. And there's just Christian music that plays. And the first time I went there, I told Quinn, I want to be here forever. I love this place. And then I got really burnt out on it and I couldn't, stand to be there anymore. And yesterday I was probably there for about a half hour. I had to sort of I was trying to fill the time before I was going to meet my sister. And it was fine, but I still was really, really early. So I just sat in my car and read.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was nice, actually. And we went to a place that's on a campus. And so there were a lot of college students around. And
these kids make me young.
Kind of that, but also there was a girl who walked by in booty shorts. And we were both like, oh,
what?
Okay, kids today, kind of thing. And when they're booty shorts, and we both felt
is
really
it like
old.
Denim shorts or like biker shorts?
Like biker shorts, but like so short.
Very small.
Yeah.
Micro shorts.
Yeah, I don't know. I called them booty shorts, but.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure her booty was out.
Oh, it was out. But it was really interesting having this lunch. I don't think she listens to the podcast, so I'm not that worried about it. But she's kind of a Debbie Downer,
Oh,
but I did not take the bait. I was just, she's
good
like,
for you.
Life is hard. And I'm like, life is hard, but it's also joyous,
Yeah.
Which I do believe that. And
yeah, I agree.
I don't know. The first thing she said was, I should probably cut all this out. Okay, there's going to be a really hard, awkward cut, like right here. Yeah, good to. I just sort of went into it, just sort of. I mean, I know her, so I kind of know what to expect, and so that was kind of the way it went. But
yeah,
she has a sick dog, and that was kind of sad.
No.
And she really wants to get another dog, like, when the first one passes, So we kind of talked about stuff like that, kind of light, breezy. Not that the sick dog is light and breezy, but dogs and cats and,
yeah,
adopting them.
That's an easy topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She should, I wonder if she looks too much online because, I mean, having your synagogue directly protested at, I mean, it's not like you could hide. Obviously, that's a real life thing, but the whole about being gay thing, I mean, I don't doubt. I mean, obviously, we live in North Carolina. It's not perfect. There are so many very conservative people here, but okay, my interaction with people recently has been mostly at the CrossFit place, which is in Durham. And I'm not advertising that I am trans. It's not necessarily something I want them to know, but they all So if they don't know that, they look at me as like a cis man, and I'm very open about having like a boyfriend and stuff. And like, I know it's just one small place. I'm not saying this is like everywhere, but it's like when I look online, I feel very scared. And because news outlets want you to feel scared, so you keep reading, and you need to read so that you have information in your head because you're anxious and you're like, this will help me in the future. No. If you interact with people, even if they're kind of awkward, like sometimes some of them, I feel like they're like, so you like your boyfriend, okay, you know, but they're like being nice, you know, like,
yeah,
I don't need them to be 100% well read on everything. Actually, it's more funny if they're not, you know, it's like more entertaining for me. Like this one coach, I really like her, even though she kind of rubbed me the wrong way at first, but now I really like her because she's just really nice to me. But there was extra work where it was like just dumbbell curls, and she was like, okay guys, it's going to be curls for girls. And then she looked at me and she was like, or for boys, because you have your partner's a boy, right? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, curls for boys. I love it. I love that.
yeah.
So, you know, I feel like when you interact with people, obviously there's psychos out there, no doubt, but I don't know. I feel so much better when I think less about the crazies online and I just interact with real humans. They're usually pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that a lot. I wish she would have said, and you're a boy, so curls for boys.
I think they all, I would rather them not be so like, yeah, I know you're trans and you're a boy, and I'm thinking about it all the time. So that's why I'm not telling anybody. But if they were to ask, I'd tell them. But they've all been very much like she has said stuff like, all right, good sir, here's what you need to be doing today. So, you know, nobody's like, hey, woman.
Hey, lady.
Hey, lady. Hey, cute girl. They're probably just like, wow, that guy's, I see why he's here. He's got such a big booty and really curvaceous hips. Just kidding.
This is really random, but sometimes I send reels to Quinn, and there's an account online called VHS Dates, and because
the things people would put out back in the day, right?
Yeah,
like the bios.
Yeah. Oh my God. So my favorite is Tina Terranova, and she says, I'm a 180 firecracker with generous hips. So when you said that,
that is amazing.
She's got, I mean, her hair is like almost like a full foot taller than she is. That's an exaggeration, but it's crazy. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you because it is a work of art. I would really like to memorize the whole thing because it's just beautiful.
Like perform it as a monologue.
Yeah. So WoHos, if you're looking for something fun, VHS Dates on Instagram is a fun follow.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
There's kind of a modern equivalent. A lot of these, like I think on Hinge, perhaps, I don't know. I'm not sure about the modern dating apps, but there's one of them where you can have like a voice bio thing. And I mean, I don't think this is great. You shouldn't make fun of people, but people will share crazy ones that they see. And some of these guys are just saying the most insane shit on there. Like they're like really trying to put on a voice, you know, being like, so like stuff I'm into is like, I'm really into, you know, I just really want like a good girl to like be with and whatnot, you know, like they'll just share that. They say crazier stuff than that.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like, God, if I ever, for some reason, I had to be on one of those apps and somebody shared something like that, I'd have to go to therapy. And everybody's in the comments like, the second guy, oh, he sucked. I hate him.
I know. Why put yourself out there? I mean, that's just like so scary. I think I've been thinking about it, actually. I was just like, I don't think I would do the apps. Like, I don't think I would do that. I think I would go to more meetings, frankly.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe
Meet some
join a
friends.
church or something. Like there's Quaker churches here, you know, they're pretty relatable, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the way I'd want to do it. I wouldn't like join the church in order to find a fella
On the prowl.
but just to sort of get out there that way. I don't think I'd want to do the apps.
No.
Nah. But yeah, I got my hair cut the other day and I hadn't seen this person.
So
Thanks. I hadn't seen her since the pandemic, I think. And
Oh,
so we were really catching up and everything. And she's like, so I was sort of telling her what was going on with me. And she's like, so I got married, you know?
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a really big one. And then the guy has a daughter. So now she has a stepdaughter. And they both had
Aw.
animals. And so they like, you know, all their animals are together. And then they got some kittens. And I heard the whole thing.
Aw.
So yeah, it's so sweet. And, you know, but I was like, that's huge. Oh my God. And she's like, I think all the animals I had when I saw you last, I think they're all gone. And I have a new crew now.
A new crew. That's how it feels like. One of the people at the gym is my old coworker who's so nice. Not only good coworker I had, but like one of less than 5. And when we were both like, so what's been new? I just knew opening up the door to it because I knew he had like 3 dogs. And I was like, I bet you anything a few of these have died. And I was correct. And then he was like, well, how's Branwen? And I was like, she has also passed. But listen, I love Branwen, but I can just firmly say I don't feel grief over it at all. Like, I feel very much like that was her time. Like, if she was still alive now, she'd be miserable. So, like, and she had a great life. So I don't feel like that sad about it. I mean, and now I've realized after losing a dad, I'm like, well, you can kind of replace animals. Like, you can't. She's gone, but like, that niche is filled right now by 2 cats. So whereas, you know, if you lose like a pretty important person in your life, there's no like, well, I got another one, so I'm not that bummed anymore.
Okay, you say that, but I do feel like, especially when those people were alive for me, but I wasn't maybe necessarily that close to them, there would be somebody to come into my life that would be roughly the same age or like, you know, have like a mothering personality or something like that. So I think we sort of get what we need, you know, and
That's
from
true.
people. And, but yeah, I totally, it's different. Yeah, obviously losing a parent and losing an animal. And this isn't that, but tomorrow I have to take Rosie to the vet, and it's such a trauma getting her into her carrier. So I brought the carrier upstairs. I put like a fuck ton of catnip in it. And so she's been going in there and like rolling around in it. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully tomorrow, think about me at 8:30 in the morning because that's
I will be.
when I'll be at the vet. But it's once a year, you know, and, you know, if I really wanted to, I could probably get a mobile vet to come, you know, and take care of her.
But then she might be like, I've had this thought, because like, I think then they might, though, associate something in that. Like, the house is the ultimate safe space. At least at the vet, they're like, well, that's that place I hate, but now I'm coming back home. But if it's like, now this is kind of a place I hate, I've wondered that, if they think that.
That's a really good point. Yeah. I mean, she's young, still youngish. So, you know, there's no need really. It's more for my comfort than hers.
Yeah.
I just hate it.
It's so exhausting. And it is traumatic for both parties. Like,
yeah.
Anytime I've brought them, I'm just saying like, I'm sorry. I know. I'm so sorry.
I know. I wish I weren't so like emotionally like torn up by it. I mean, I'm sure there are people who like, it's like you just take your cat to the vet. Like, it's just something you do. But I'm not that person. So it's going to
Because
be.
you're like, oh, they don't know. Like, they don't understand. I
No,
can't
they
tell
don't.
them.
I know. Can't explain
But
it.
it'll be over. Like, and then when she gets back, like, just imagine that moment when you open up the carrier again and she comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then it'll all be better. And then you don't have to do it for 365 days.
Yeah.
So.
Good point. Good point. And I was talking it over with somebody, maybe the hairstylist, and she's like, and then there's the money. And I was just like,
Oh.
I wasn't even thinking about the money. I was thinking about how to get this cat in the carrier. Because it's kind of a 2-person job.
It is.
But
here's a tip I've noticed with Hoshi. Luffy's so easy. It's kind of insane. I'm just like, go in there. And he's like, okay. But Hoshi, if I just kind of get her near it and I just push her butt, it's like they have to go in.
mm-hmm.
It's better than because I have a top open one. That's actually been harder because they put their arms and legs on it. And then I have to like put their head in. But this one, I just push the butt and they're like, oh, and then slam the door shut.
Yeah, I have like a soft one. So it's like zipping up the side is going to be the tough part because she's going to want to like get out any kind of
the little head out.
Yeah. Oh God. And
It'll be
be
okay.
fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah. She's been rolling in there.
Yeah.
So that's better than just taking it out and being like, get in.
That's right. Well, anyway, speaking of just getting in, maybe we should just get in to this first movie. So,
this
WoHos, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, our theme this week is movies about fate. And, can you change it? And I think this one does really fit,
Mm-hmm.
that idea. Or, any sort of like, trying to fight against death. So our first movie is A Day from South Korea. Here is a short plot summary from IMDb. A mystery drama revolving around a father who commits an unethical act in an attempt to save his daughter's life. 3 years later, his actions return to haunt him, trapping him in an endless time loop. That's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah.
Like, when I read that, I was like, oh, so he did something. But like, you wouldn't know that watching the movie until it's revealed, So interesting. Well, here are the stats. In Hangul, is it just Haru?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the name?
Yes.
Interesting. It was directed by Cho Sun-ho and also written by Cho Sun-ho and Lee Sang-hak, starring Kim Myung-min and Byun Yo-han, with cinematography by Kim Ji-young and edited by Shin Min-kyung, with music by Moog? It was released June 15th, 2017, with a runtime of 90 minutes. Okay, I thought about this, and then I was like, when do I reveal that I felt this? But I guess I'll reveal it now. Do you know those ads that are so dramatic for no reason, that are like, they're usually Asian,
Yeah.
and this felt like a very long one of that. And at the end, if it had been like, Verizon Mobile, I wouldn't have been shocked. Like, it feels like one of those crazy long dramatic ads. The tone of it, when people are running, and the music. I know that's kind of like a Korean drama thing. I've actually never really watched a Korean drama, only the cinema. But I just in my head, I was like, I feel like I know what they're like now.
Yeah. The only thing about this one was the tone is so weird, the way it starts with the kids. And then you have the sort of like English language songs in the background. That's very K-drama. But yeah, K-drama can be melodramatic for sure. Very much like a telenovela. So this is an odd one.
It is odd, and it feels like whoever wrote it read like a chain email that was about heart transplants and was like, I've got a great idea for a movie. Because I feel like I've heard this story before, but in a chain email of like, and then the child had the heart of the person with her heart in it. Sorry, spoiler. I liked it though.
Yeah.
Like, didn't love it.
Right.
I liked it okay. If there had been some actors I preferred, I think that would have honestly, like, okay, the taxi driver, if that had been played by, what's his name from I Saw the Devil. I saw for a second, I was like, he could be that guy.
Lee Byung-hun or
Choi
Min
Min-sik.
Sik.
If he had been that guy, this would have turned into a 5-star film. And I think he could have taken whatever the script was and just like really put, maybe he was busy that day. I think they wanted him.
I think this is a couple rungs down from like, you know,
his normal
fare. Yeah. He was off making
in a different
Exuma.
life.
Yeah.
Had he not been so famous and reduced to this, we'd be like, who's this guy? Like, this guy is so amazing. So in my heart, he was in this movie. Well, let's begin. Kim Jun-young is a world-famous doctor and neglectful father to daughter Yeon-jung. Okay, where's the mom?
I wondered that too.
We never know.
Oh, well.
This movie also is very much like just such a like, why do men fantasize about something bad happening to the women in their life so hard? Like, they want this to happen. Like, there's a great book called Mayfly, and in the opening, she basically says, like, it's the ultimate fantasy of like, your wife and children are murdered, so now you can go full badass and like kill people and have just cause. And I just kind of felt that with this a little bit of like, why do we have to punish the women? Like, the women and the girls are accessories to these men to hurt them with. And I hate that plot line. But anyways, so Kim Jun-young returns home from a 3-month-long mission where he has been working in a war zone. He signs an autograph for a flight attendant. Like, that's how famous he is. I don't know. Are there doctors like this in the world? But they established this. Like, she has a photo of him in a magazine with him on the cover. He's got this manager guy who is so cute, and is very much like, yeah, he'll take a photo with you. Like, you know, really trying to promote this guy. Whereas this guy's like, I'm just all about the doctoring. He's very serious. After his flight, this man also has an uncanny knack for running into people who need medical attention.
Yes.
Because like in one day, he runs into so many. This just feels like this is also every doctor's fantasy of like, I save lives every day. So he saves a choking child on the moving sidewalk. And this woman brought the drama. She's like, someone please, my son. And, you know, I'm going to pat your back now. And then candy flies out of his mouth and everybody's like, whoa. And his manager is like, that's the famous guy. Don't forget, guys. So then he does a press conference in which his daughter and her friends watch. Now, we've already seen her daughter. This is one of my most favorite things is when we see her talking to her friends, she's like, well, my dad is like a world famous doctor and he's actually super cool. And the other kids are like, man, like my dad's just famous for yelling at my mom. Or like another one is like, yeah, mine's drunk all the time. But they are in our lives every day and buy us chicken and walk us to school. And so then the daughter's like, oh. But I just love that with her friends, she's like, no, like my dad's like really cool and really awesome. But to her dad, she's like, I hate you, you know, fuck you. You are never around me. That feels pretty accurate. You know, you don't, when you're a little kid, that is kind of like being like, my dad could beat up your dad is like a status symbol, but that doesn't mean you're going to have like a great relationship with him. So during the press conference, his daughter and her friends watch while at the arcade because it's also his daughter's birthday. And here he is not there, but he's flying home to see her. But you know, obviously this girl's had a lot of time of feeling disappointed by him. So the daughter's friends are impressed, but she's embarrassed because his reason for being such a great doctor is he's like, you know, I did something to save my daughter's life 3 years ago. And that embarrasses her, which also feels very accurate. So then on his way to meet his daughter, we get a few, those few scenes in like the time loop type of thing where it's like he's at the toll booth and the lady drops his coins. But, he seems like such a sweet guy. I did like this character a lot. And he stops because he tells his daughter, like, I'll see you at 12. I'm not going to be late. But then, of course, he sees an accident. So he has to go run in there and help. It's a taxi that's like driven into these like bunch of concrete. The woman in the back is dead, but he can help the guy in the front seat. So then an EMT arrives in an ambulance, and Kim calls his daughter and hears her phone ringing in the distance because she has been hit in an accident. Well, she is involved in this accident and is just on the sidewalk, which this confused me because I'm like, now how did he not see this?
Yeah.
He's on the road. He's on that very same road. And there's a bunch of people gathered around. I don't know. Seems kind of crazy. But, his daughter has been killed. And even like he runs over, pulls the sheet off. And then the EMT is just kind of look at him and like pull the sheet back over her. Like, get away from her. But he reawakens on the plane in a cold sweat. He is stuck in a time loop. And this is where I do feel like the tone gets weird because they kind of fast forward through him realizing this. It's like just all these moments that hit you all at once of like, yeah, he keeps trying to do stuff like, he steals the candy so the kid can't choke on it, which I did like that little detail.
Like that
He's not going to let the kid die, He's like, just, and the kid's like, that guy took my candy. He just runs through the toll booth, but every time he can't make it in time. And then in the final time, and this shot was very cool. He's getting there like as she's getting hit, and we see her like fly up in the air, all her candy going in the air and stuff. I thought that scene was very cool. And the thing is, she keeps ignoring his calls, so he can't really tell her to, not go to that place. He's even trying to say it in the press conference, which is embarrassing her. And he even gets the number of the taxi driver and tries to get him to alter his route. Well, one day in the loop, he's attacked by the EMT, Lee Min-chul, who's also stuck in this time loop. Because, as we can see from his perspective, his wife is the dead woman in the backseat of the taxi. So he is also stuck in this time loop. And he's like, everybody else here is the same, but you're different every time. So they realize, okay, let's try to prevent the losses of my wife and your child. So, they even have some times where like they meet up, even though they know the scene is happening, but they're just trying to get their plan together. And I liked their little scene of, the dad is more so like, just like, we just need to figure out like what's wrong. And whereas this guy's just more frantic, like, fuck, like my wife, oh my God. And I felt like that was a nice, people react differently to this situation. But their plans, they keep trying new things. So in this plan now, outside of the police station, Lee hits himself with a brick and tells the cops that he is the victim of a hit and run at the hands of the taxi driver. And then we see his little backstory. He has had a fight with his wife over having kids. They live in this really tiny, cramped place. And he's like, it's just not the right time. Like, we don't have enough money. I'm working the night shift. She's like, well, I could get a job, and he's like basically insinuating like, can you just get like an abortion and we can just try again later, which is not what the wife wants to hear, which I think is fair. I mean, it's kind of like, or what
I don't think he knows that she's pregnant. I think that's a big reveal.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They're just talking about wanting to have kids.
That confused me. Okay. Because I was like, oh God, is he just telling this woman to have an abortion? Like, which, I mean, I'm pro-choice, obviously, but that still would be kind of like a very heavy thing to be talking, especially if your wife does want to have the child. So, okay. All right. That provides a different perspective. So, he tells her, well, we can't afford to have kids right now. So they have this big fight. So she hasn't been answering his call the whole day. So he can't get her to not take the taxi. So in this timeline, the taxi driver is detained. So there's no accident. And Kim's daughter has gone to the park. So all seems well, but there's still like, we're only halfway through, so that can't be true. Then Kim receives a phone call. Fake Choiman 6 says Kim's daughter should have died 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And Kim runs to his daughter. He's passing by other little girls with long black hair in the same outfit, also same headphones.
Beats by Dre.
Finally sees her. What?
Beats by Dre.
These beautiful red headphones. He finally sees her and like runs to her, but they both get hit by the taxi that is barreling through the park. And this is like just one of those dramatic scenes where like, you know, we see him running and then see the taxi, like, and I just thought this could be advertising like health insurance or something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wanted to say when you were mentioning those ads, usually those are Thai ads, and
yeah,
they will make you cry. Like they are little bitty dramas. So WoHos fun tip: if you ever want to cry or you need to cry, go on YouTube and type in Thai commercial.
They will get you.
Just watch like a 7-minute commercial and they will get you in the feels.
And you don't, the whole time you're just like, this is just a short film. And then at the very end, it's the craziest like product placement. And it's like, well, you did get me. I wouldn't watch a 7-minute ad of other shit. So I guess it worked. So then Kim awakens on the plane because, you know, after getting hit by this taxi, and he realizes this isn't even an accident. This taxi driver is on a mission to kill Yun Jung and Lee's wife on purpose because he's also in the time loop.
Yeah.
So then we learn, and this sequence kind of pissed me off because 3 years is such a long time for a child. Like, and they get it looks like the exact same.
That's
like
true.
Nothing is different visually of anybody. This could have happened 3 weeks ago. Like,
yeah.
But the daughter, I feel like it's the same actress. Even his little assistant, which I was just thinking, like, we've seen that this guy's stylish, ahead of the times. You're telling me he doesn't have a perm right now or something? Like, anything could have given me, like, give me something. But no. So just that detail to me, I just feel like it was a little bit lazy. But so we learn Yun Jung received a heart transplant 3 years ago. Lee was driving distracted in the rain and caused a car crash where the taxi driver, Kong Shik, and his son, Haru, were seriously injured. The child was rendered brain dead, and Kong Shik ended up in a coma with a bad head injury. But so, you know, we see the scene where Kim's saying to his daughter, like, no, like, you're going to get the transplant. She's like, I can go home. Oh my God. Yay. It's so sweet. But then his little manager guy is like, actually, the like guardian of the kid whose heart we're going to give her has said no, which we also don't know, like, why. Like,
right.
I mean, I know it's just his choice. So obviously, like, that's fine. But the movie, in a way, I feel like the movie's kind of like, but isn't it kind of like, it just feels kind of crazy that he would say no, I guess.
Who? The Guardian?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. People change their mind.
That's true.
I didn't think it was that weird. But, you know, then we get Haru wheeled in, like, dun, 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 like, good old Haru is going to save the day. You know, just at the right moment. Yeah.
I guess it's like this daughter was close to dying. So this was kind of like a really opportune thing. So everybody was kind of jumping on it. But then it's like, well, no, he didn't actually consent to this kid.
There was a whole other family. And they were going to donate the heart.
Oh.
They changed their mind. Oh. Then there was the car accident.
I see.
Because Kong Shik couldn't give consent because he's like in a coma.
Right. Okay. I was confused about that. Okay. That makes more sense. So, yeah, she was going to get this heart transplant at the very last moment. That guardian said no. But then here comes Haru and Kong Shik, who have just been in this horrible accident. So Kim forges Kang Shik's signature on the organ donation consent form, and basically harvests Haru's heart for Yeonjung, which is a very deeply disturbing thing to do.
Yes.
This, again, is now making way more sense. And that's pretty horrifying. Like, I mean, it'd be horrifying no matter what, but for this guy to then like wake up, and then be like, oh, and okay, I see now. And you can't even really, like, it could have been a very sweet thing had everybody consented, and it,
right.
It'd be like, he could have met Yeonjung and been like, wow, okay, well, I'm saving this little girl's life. My little boy is, but that gets taken from him and he's just used, and now his life's like over because his, child has died. So in the present, Kim wants to find Kang Shik and beg him for forgiveness because maybe he won't do all this if he does. Lee is just like, nah, let's kill him. Like, which I see where Lee's coming from, because Lee is like, my wife's innocent, and so is Yeonjung. It's like they had nothing to do with this, and it is because we find out that, like, when we see at one point his wife in the back seat, like, he strangled her to death. Like, he didn't just kill her; he killed her in like a very horrific way, And then now he finds out that his wife is also pregnant. So it's like, oh, well, you're gonna kill my child too. So Kim, during one of the time loops, steals Kang Shik basically from the crash, takes him to the hospital. And I was like, people just let him do this.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh yeah, sure. Take the dying guy I don't know. And he revives him with shots of adrenaline in the heart so they can talk. Kim, and I think this actor does a great job. He's begging for forgiveness, and he's like, listen, would you not do the same as a father if you had this opportunity to save your child? And then Kang Shik gives him the Uno reverse, and he's like, yeah. And if somebody killed, did this to your child, would you not want to get revenge? Which, okay, I see his point, but what he's doing is crazy. Like, that is still insane. Like, murdering a child, I can't really get on board with you on this. Like, reveal the secret and get this guy's illustrious career in the tank. Yeah, he deserves that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But murdering a child and a woman in cold blood, no. Nothing gives you the right to do that. So, but this really makes Kim think like, okay, yeah. Well, I'm also a crazy man. So yeah, I guess you're right. I would do that crazy shit if our positions were reversed. So then, because, we get a little bit of shots of Kang Shik, like, his morning when he wakes up in the time loop, and he's kind of like, gotta go kill this kid. He says every time he hesitated before he killed Yeonjung, but then he would think of Haru and be filled with the feeling of revenge. But then he felt like he was in a forever hell, killing her over and over again, which is like, dog, nobody's making you. But okay. So in another iteration of the time loop, Lee attacks Kang Shik with a knife in a scuffle. So during this moment, like, Kim realizes Kang Shik, when he dies, that's when the time loop is reset. So, even killing him won't even do anything.
Right.
And now we've had like a moment where, he's been able to save Yeonjung. She's like sitting off to the side. He's trying to save Kang Shik's life because the car's been like turned over. Because, there's this amazing shot where, like, the dad gets there. He swerves the car like around Yeonjung to like deflect the car that's coming to hit her. That shot was pretty badass. And it felt such like a fatherly, thing of like, I'm protecting her. And I thought that was sweet. So, but Lee is filled with, now the rage of like, and my unborn Lee. And what's sweet is that Lee is thinking to himself, like, oh my God, like, now that I know she was pregnant, I feel like such a piece of shit. Like, why did I say that to her? Imagine how sad she was. And then she dies. Like, he just can't take this. And I thought that was pretty sweet that he was thinking of how she felt. So Lee attacks Kang Shik with a knife, but Kim tries to stop him, and then in the scuffle, he accidentally stabs Kim. Kim's like, just let me die. Like, I kind of deserve this anyway, because that will stop the time loop. During all this, Kong Shik, bloodied, staggers over to Young Jung, who recognizes him because she visited him at his bedside while he was in the coma, and basically, you know, was like, I am, you know, Haru's a part of me now. So like, thank you. You know, she's just a perfect little girl. And then they hug, and I did cry because I thought that was very sweet. Because the way he hugs her is so like, he's got his hand on her head, and he's just like really holding her. And, you know, he feels guilty about all those times he killed her. And I just thought, you know, this is very, very sweet. This is what this broken man needs, is a place to put his love that is lost after losing his son. So, but he dies because he's been, you know, this was like his last gesture in this time loop. So the day repeats, but this time, Kong Shik, in the morning when, you know, the daughter, we see her talking with her friends, he pulls up in the taxi, like kind of like a weirdo, but approaches Yeon Jung, who recognizes him, thankfully. She's not like, who are you? But they talk in the park about Haru. Kong Shik, because she's like, well, tell me about Haru. Like, what was his favorite food? Kong Shik says that Haru's favorite food was chocolate. And she says she never cared for sweets until she had the heart transplant. And now, you know, she can't get enough of them. So it's because Haru lives inside of her, which is very sweet. Yeah, she says it makes sense because she is herself and also Haru, which is just such a like moment for Kong Shik. He's just kind of like, oh my God, I've been like, man, I might be kind of like a piece of shit. Lee meets his wife at the OBGYN's office and says he's sorry and that he wants to have the baby and name it Haru. Oh, that's wonderful. Also, they're texting, like, you know, Kong Shik just texts him, I'm sorry. Maybe say it to the wife, bud. Maybe say it to the woman you choked out. But okay. And he texts him back, yeah, thanks. Then Kim tells his assistant the story, and the assistant's like, even if that's true, don't tell anybody. But he's like, no, I need to make a public announcement. So at this press conference, he confesses his crime from years ago, and it's a happy ending. And then it says T-Mobile. I'm just kidding.
I was like, I missed that. No, is it a happy ending? I mean, now this, he's going to go to prison.
Yeah, but it's a happy ending for Kong Shik, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. I was just like, oh, you fool.
I mean, I think this was part of the penance, though, is kind of like, you can't be having this illustrious career when, like, you literally went against, you did the harm that the Hippocratic Oath says that you shouldn't do.
That's right.
And, you know, that shows that he, like, thought about it and was like, yeah, that was pretty fucked up. I guess I'm going to be, like, even more absent now of a father.
Yes,
but,
exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
My invisible wife will take care of her. Well, briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Well, okay, wait, hold on. I want to ask, how did you feel about it?
The whole thing or just the ending?
Yeah, like generally.
I did not like this movie.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. It's sad because I love Korean stuff, you know? And usually I used to think that everything I saw was just like top tier, you know, like, and it was, because that's what was being marketed to me. Like, if you like, I saw The Devil, then you'll probably like this, you know? And so I saw all these really great Korean shows and films and stuff. And then as I consume more and more, I'm noticing not everything is amazing. And it just makes me feel sad. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I had this moment when, like, you know, when you are reading books for school and you're going to be reading classics only. And then maybe if you start reading books for fun, you're probably going to pick more classics. And then if you take a chance on something, you're like, well, most books I have read have been good. You realize those were the good ones that you read. They're usually not good. You could still like them, but they're probably bad.
And I had a different movie in mind for this, and I confused it with this film. And I don't know the name of the movie that I originally wanted. So, WoHos, if you know of another story that's pretty similar to this, it's a day that repeats and repeats, and a father's trying to save his daughter, then let me know, because this was not it.
It wasn't this one.
No.
Well, briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Well, Michael Suen gave it 1.5 stars. I'd like my day back, please. Okay, it's a 90-minute movie, so
relax, Michael.
Noru gave it 2 stars. It's kind of boring, though. I would agree. Like, for all the action, you're kind of like, okay,
let's pick it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Deekers gave it 2 stars. Mediocre movie. The redemption story, it's not bad, and the ending is not bad either, but I don't know. I did not like the rhythm, and the acting is meh. Stories like this are supposed to create more intense feelings, I guess. I appreciate some aspects of the plot, and it was not terrible to see, but
I didn't know if that was an abbreviation for something, or that was
me neither.
Okay. Yeah.
Guard Ruben Fausk gave it 4.5 stars. This really reminded me of Steins Gate and Erased, 2 of the best anime series I know about. In addition to that, this film actually made me cry, and that is rare. Loved it. I have not seen these 2 animes.
Oh, darn it.
Actually.
I was hoping you had.
I've heard good things. I think they're like timey-wimey things. Yeah. I don't, based on how many people like those anime, I would say this is probably not a good comparison, because they are pretty famous, so they can't be like this movie. I simply don't believe it. I Love Roxy gave it 5 stars. Amazing movie. Cried at every second. If I could rewatch for the first time, I would. Wow. Did the producer write that?
I don't know. I would believe it.
He cried every second. The beginning? It's not that sad. Well, Seth Movie gave it 5 stars. Shout out to Kenny for translating. Best movie I've seen in a while. Now, was this a live translation? Because that would be interesting.
That would be.
Pause. So she just said...
Well, I would love that. I really need a fluent Korean speaking friend, because I would love to have that person like, okay, no, that English translation sucks. This is what this actually means. I would love that. Yeah.
That'll be you one day.
Maybe, yes, if I keep studying.
Well, how would we rate it? How about little chocobo pieces of candy?
Sure.
I think I choke on 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, after last week when I said, 3 is sort of like a baseline, like it does, as long as it's not racist or misogynistic, or really just offensive in some way, I'd give it 3 stars. But I'm going to break my rule and give it 2 3/4 stars. I did like it when it shifted the first time to the EMT's perspective. I was like, okay, all right. Now we're in business. And then the whole revenge thing came into play, and they lost me again. So
yeah.
And then it ended so abruptly. I was just like, oh, okay. I guess that's the end of that story. It just kind of threw me for a loop. So I didn't care for this film.
I don't think they thought it through very well. The whole no mom in the picture thing is still like, you need to explain that. Like,
Yeah.
we need something. You can't have one woman on retainer to just be like, your father, he's probably going to be doing this bullshit again. Like, have her poisoning her against him or something, you know? I don't know. Also, how did he know that that guy was the one that hit him? How did he know that the EMT was the one that hit him and killed him and his son? Or, you know, got them in the accident?
Because he ran up to the car and then he, quote, ran away. But he only ran away to call 911.
Yeah, which was so like, so you were wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong.
Yeah.
So he shouldn't be getting revenge against the EMT guy at all. But you need a third player, I guess. You can't just have it like this tete-a-tete between these two characters, because that's
stupid.
Yeah. Not great.
No. Now I see why you wanted to kill him. It'd be like, yeah, and I did take you to the hospital, you dumb fuck. Like, yeah, sorry that it was raining and we were both on a shitty ass road. Like, shit happens. You've choked my wife out like in 8 timelines right now. So, well, what have we learned?
Get consent.
Yeah, don't just be taking hearts. Like, that ain't right. Or if you do, have him meet the little girl. Like, that is, you know, that would probably sweeten the deal a little bit, to be like, and look, this is my precious little daughter. You're going to kill her? Really? Yeah.
I guess he didn't know, you know, when Kang Shik was going to wake up from his coma, you know, and he just felt like time was running out for Yun Jung. So what are you going to do?
And maybe don't tell her yet that she will be okay. Like, tell her that when you're wheeling her away to get surgery, you know? But I imagine, like, I kind of in a way get it being like, now how am I going to go back in there and be like, no, so we have a different conversation we need to be having. I'd be like, fuck it, just give me the kid's heart. Okay. Well, would we watch it again? No. One was enough. But do you have a favorite scene and or kill?
The car is pretty great. The car, swerving all the way around her body to save her is pretty good, I gotta say. Yeah. So that's
spent all the budget on that.
Yes.
Yeah, writing, staffing, all of it went to that. I would say that one too. Who wins the You Fool Award?
Kim.
Yeah. You can't just be doing that. And also, then thinking like nothing bad will happen. Yeah. He should have gotten some details first before
also
murder
Lee,
plot.
I mean,
yeah.
He, you know, you're with this woman, you love this woman, and she doesn't feel comfortable enough to tell you that she's pregnant with your child.
That's sad.
I think you guys have some stuff to work on.
Yeah.
So also her, like, don't have a baby with this guy.
Yeah, no. He's willing to knife somebody. Like,
yeah.
I'm worried about him.
Me too. He's a hothead.
He had a little bit of some overacting. Like, his actor had a lot of sweating, a lot of just like shaking of the head. That was like, okay, bro, you're kind of taking me out of it a little bit. Well, he comes to her all like drenched in sweat, just like, honey, yes, we should have the baby. She's like, how do you know where I am? Like, how do you know? Why are you wet?
Also, like, creeper, like watching her as she gets the scan and stuff. Like,
how did they not hear him open up that door?
That's so dumb.
I did like that scene though of her with the doctor, of her being like, and so how long do I have to decide if I want to get an abortion? And she's like, now why are you saying this, honey? Like, this is a beautiful moment. She's like, yeah, no reason. I'd be like, is everything okay at home?
I know, right? Not really.
Well, that was a day.
That was a day and a half.
Hey.
Final Destination Bloodlines, the short plot summary from IMDb says, plagued by a recurring violent nightmare, a college student returns home to find the one person who can break the cycle and save her family from the horrific fate that inevitably awaits them. This was directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein. The screenplay is by Guy Busick and Laurie Evans Taylor. The story by John Watts, Guy Busick, and Laurie Evans Taylor, based on characters by Jeffrey Reddick. It stars Caitlin Santajuana, Teo Briones, Richard Harmon, Owen Patrick Joyner, Anna Lohr, Breck Bassinger, and Tony Todd. Cinematography by Christian Seabolt. Edited by Sabrina Petra. Music by Tim Wynn. The release date was May 16th, 2025, and it has a running time of 110 minutes. How did you feel about this runtime, Mac?
It is long, but this is a great movie, so I'll allow it. And it was really nice seeing it in theaters with you. And like, I'm so glad we saw it in the theater, both on the big screen and the energy of like the audience. I feel like this, all Final Destination movies, it's just better when you as the audience can all go and
Yes. I totally agree. This was perfect. I wish we had seen it in IMAX after what I learned later. And then watching it at home, it's still fun. And I had Rosie on my lap when I was watching the opening scene, and I was just going, nope, no way, no, oh my God, so she got the full treatment. But the opening scene is so scary to me because I have a thing with heights. So it's really effective. So, WoHos, this is the 6th movie in the franchise, the Final Destination franchise. And most people already know that the deaths in these scenes are basically like Rube Goldberg machines. Like they're just these intricate setups. And that's what builds in all the suspense. You see something at the beginning of the scene that you think is going to come into play to be the death of one of the characters. So I'm not going to go through all the steps in each of the deaths because that would take forever. If that's what you were hoping for, I'm sorry, but I just couldn't do it.
You should just watch it. Like,
yeah,
this will preserve some, like, they're so fun. It wouldn't be the same to just describe them.
Yeah, exactly. So in 1969, Iris Campbell and her boyfriend Paul attend the grand opening of the Skyview, a high-rise restaurant tower. Iris has a premonition of a chain of events that causes the tower to collapse, killing everyone inside. She warns the attendees and prevents the collapse, but in doing so, disrupts death's design. And I just wanted to note a couple of things. The penny is very important throughout the whole film.
Yes, I love that it is like there's a moment where, there's all these people kind of hanging or like against these windows, but like, oh, it's part of the building going to break off. And this penny just lands on top of the piano. And that's a perfect amount of weight to add that they all, the piano slides down, crushes a woman. And like, it's so fun. Like the movie, I've always been a big Final Destination fan. I do wonder if it had caused, I think I already had an anxiety problem. And as a kid used to think about ways I could die. I don't think that's because of this movie or this franchise, but I feel like maybe it didn't help watching some stuff. And I still feel I remember one thing in particular. There's a scene in one of the movies where like this woman's got a cracked mug and then some of this liquid gets in her like computer and the shards hit her in the neck. And I remember that night at my bedside, I had an alarm clock and I just pushed it so far away from my bed because I was like, just in case. I don't know, just in case.
Oh, it's funny. I mean, speaking of doctors before with the previous movie, I mean, I like to watch those reels where an emergency room doctor is like, here's 10 things I would never do.
Oh, yeah.
Like put your feet up in the car on the dashboard He's like, no,
Mm.
never do that. And never hang anything out the side of a car. And I don't know. I can't think of any more. But I just love those things.
Yeah,
Even though
the
they
things that
probably,
they've seen a lot.
yeah, yeah. But the penny comes into play because there's this really bratty little kid, and he's at the top of this like needle, kind of like the needle in Seattle, and he wants to drop the penny from the top, and someone stops him and says, "Don't do that, you'll kill somebody." And then the penny gets, sucked into this fan and like breaks off one of the rotors in the fan, and then all these other things stem from that. The other thing I need to tell you is that Iris attempts to save a child.
Mm-hmm. This is such a great, like, of all, because, this franchise biz been around for a while, and like the first one's very iconic, but they do just, I saw one of them in the theaters in high school and thought it was so shitty. Like, I don't remember which one it was, but they're not one of the early ones, but whatever one came out in like the 2010s was just so bad that I just was like, oh, well, that's the state of this franchise now. Okay. And so this one really is surprising in a way to be so late, but you have the exact and maybe even better like joy and whimsy, where it's like, yeah, there's people dying, but it's supposed to kind of be funny.
Yeah. I think it is really good because death is such a horrible thing to contemplate, and so if you can laugh, if you can have a little bit of, suspense, but with the payoff, also, I think that's really cool. And I watched all of them except the fourth one. I think the fourth one's supposed to be really bad. I'll go back and watch it at some point. I think that's one where the opening scene is like at a speedway.
Oh yeah, that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But every one of these films has sort of the set piece in the beginning that, like one of them's a bridge collapses, and
that's the one I saw in the theater.
Yeah, that might be 3. Yeah. Anyway,
the classic logs on the truck.
Yes, that's the second one. 55 years later, Iris and Paul's granddaughter, college student Stephanie Reyes, is plagued by recurring nightmares of the averted accident and returns home seeking answers. She is greeted by her father, Marty, and younger brother, Charlie. The siblings visit their Uncle Howard, Aunt Brenda, and cousins Eric, Julia, and Bobby. When Stephanie asks about Iris, Howard explains that he and Stephanie's mother, Darlene, were raised in an overprotective, isolated environment, contributing to family tensions and Darlene's absence. And I just wanted to talk about Steph and Charlie's relationship and their relationship to Darlene, their mom. Mm-hmm. So the mom has left the family, say 8 years ago. And Charlie's the younger brother, and he's a lot more forgiving of this absence than Stephanie is. And Marty, the dad, is not interested in her at all. And there is some tension between the brother and sister because Stephanie says, well, Darlene comes back, spoiler. And Stephanie's just like, oh, she thinks she can just like show up after all this time. And he's like, yeah, nobody else would do that. And she's like, what do you mean? And he's like, I used to call you all the time when you went to college and you never called me back, and then you just like show up now. And so I thought that was really good because, yeah, the younger brother would feel, a little bit abandoned. But I can see it from her point of view. There's so much that's going on in your freshman year of college that it would make sense that, you'd get back to your brother when you had time. And that's just like one little detail that I think is really great about this movie because the relationships, you get a lot of information in just like these short little nuggets.
And I love family dynamic stuff. I feel like it's pretty fun, something everybody can relate to, that you'll have all these characters in your family. And so yeah, I think usually the Final Destination setup is like they could be perfect strangers or just friends in college or something. And the early 2000s movies, they had such a feeling of like snarkiness and I guess they kind of make you want to dislike the character so you don't feel bad when they die horrifically. But this movie, they can still be snarky and sarcastic, but it's grounded in stuff that makes sense. It's like, okay, the cousin's being snarky to Steph because she's been gone, and she's kind of like, why would you, I know how your brother feels, like I've been filling in the gaps for you. And so all of the tension makes sense and makes you more invested because you're like, oh, like what's this family drama?
Yeah. And you really care about these characters.
Yeah.
Brenda helps Stephanie find letters from Iris that lead to a fortified cabin where Iris now lives, terminally ill with cancer. So Stephanie goes and she sees this, like it really is fortified. Like there's like this metal gate out front, and there are like metal spikes like coming out from all the angles of the eaves of the roof and everything like that. And so it does look pretty creepy and frightening. We see the little pond out front, so that'll be important later. And we also see a weather vane on top of the house, which will be important pretty soon.
It looks like where you like hole up during a zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
Like that's the vibe it gives.
Yeah, it does. Iris recounts the Skyview incident and explains that after she prevented the collapse, death began taking the lives of the survivors in the order they should have died, along with their descendants. After Paul's death, Iris documented death's action in a notebook to protect her family. Stephanie doubts her grandmother's story, and I just wrote a note to myself. Iris seems very crazy, and tries to leave, but Iris follows her outside, gives her the notebook, and allows herself to be impaled by a weather vane to prove her claims.
Because she's like, oh, well, it hasn't come for you guys yet because that's why I've been here, so that I won't, but I guess, now Stephanie's kind of like this link where she's kind of like, well, I was going to die anyway, so at least now you'll be prepared in a way than if I just die randomly up here. And I do love this because, the family is like, this is such a relatable thing when you're a younger person in a family. Because if you haven't been traumatized by somebody, and like you're kind of like interested in knowing them, but you're just hearing secondhand from people of just like, oh, I mean, this lady like fucked me up like pretty good. And you can just see her putting the dots together, kind of like, oh, this lady's batshit crazy.
Right.
Okay, I made a mistake in coming here, which I feel like is pretty relatable. Like you're maybe like, well, I'll see what I can do, and you're like, oh, nope, they were right.
Yeah. Yeah. She does seem really crazy. I mean, she's been there for 20 years. She looks kind of raggedy. She's talking to death out loud. Like death tries to, yeah. So yeah, she seems pretty nuts. At Iris's funeral, Darlene returns, but Stephanie resents her absence since she abandoned her and Charlie during their childhood. Reading the notebook, Stephanie finds a reference to JB, who discovered someone who defeated death. During a family barbecue, a chain of events kills Howard with his lawnmower in front of the family.
Oh, art. This scene is like, should be in the MoMA.
Yes. I love it so much. I can't stop thinking about it because I saw a brief interview with the directors, and they were talking about how they wanted everything to be fresh for this movie. And so they didn't want to repeat any of the things that had appeared in the other movies. But like, what do you do then? I mean, you've had somebody die in his own bathroom. And I kind of love this one because what's more innocent than a backyard barbecue? But when you look at it, you've got the grill, you've got the Jenga set, which doesn't seem like
giant Jenga.
But somebody breaks a glass, and then a shard of glass ends up mixed in with the ice in one of the people's glasses. And so you're just thinking, oh no, somebody's going to like swallow this piece of glass.
Or like the rake under the trampoline, but then Darlene gets it before, there's so many like moments like that. And it's so good because you're just constantly like, what is it going to be? Oh no.
And then it's the lawnmower, which I don't think, you would have predicted. I saw behind the scenes of the actor just like underneath, the lawnmower, just like struggling and everything before the CGI blood was added. It was really funny. Following Howard's funeral, Stephanie tries to warn everyone that death is coming, but they are reluctant to believe her. Which
I love this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because also the book from Iris looks like a manifesto.
Yes.
Like, it's so crazy. And the prop team, whoever did that, did such a great job. And then obviously all the children of Howard are just like, dude, our dad just died in front of our faces, like yesterday or wherever, and now you're saying that we're all going to die too? Fuck you, man. It's so valid. Like,
yeah.
Even though she's correct. And usually stuff like this in movies makes me upset because the character's right. And so you're just like, why can't they see? But in this moment, they do such a good job of it being like, yeah, this is a very hard sell.
Yes. Absolutely.
And they already don't like her or trust her, really. So,
yeah,
if it had been one of the cousins, maybe. But, this girl comes back and now she's like, and you're all going to die. Like, why would you believe her?
Yeah. A fire breaks out at Eric's tattoo shop, but he survives thanks to his leather clothing. Well, that's a pretty great set piece as well. Eric, I think he's my favorite.
He's so funny.
Super snarky. He goes to the tattoo shop and he's listening to
Eric's sad tunes. With a sad clown as the album art.
So, yeah, I'm trying to think of the song. It's like going through my head right now. Oh, I can't live if living is without you. And he tattoos dad on his arm. Oh my God, it's so funny. He's got all these piercings and the scene has been set up to be like another death scene because there are chains that are close to a ceiling fan and there are these flammable chemicals that are spilling onto the floor and all this other stuff. But actually, it's just a fake out because Eric is actually fine the next day. The next day, Stephanie and Charlie attempt to protect Eric, believing he is next. But Julia is crushed by a garbage truck's compactor instead. A shame-fueled Brenda discloses that Eric was the product of an affair and is not part of Iris's bloodline, explaining why he was spared.
This is the funniest scene in the entire movie. Like, and I saw from the kill count by James A. Janice that like that line was like improv'd. And that he just kept doing different reactions, the actor did. And so the whole like, is that why he wanted to always play catch with me? It was like totally just off the dome, which is so funny. And we were like hollering in the movie theater. It was so funny.
Yeah, yeah. She doesn't want to admit who it is, And then when it's like Larry Fenberry or something, and he's like, Larry Fenberry?
It's so good. And the scene where the girl gets crushed is also, yes. I love because like when they're first walking, everybody's still so skeptical and they're just like, well, okay, like this, like, what do you think is going to happen? And she's like, I don't know, like the leaf blower could hit that kid who like hits the, garbage pail with like the soccer ball. And it sounds so crazy. And then that it doesn't even like in the background as they're talking, you see that exact same turn of events. And it's so funny. Like, I think also this movie is very funny if you have OCD. Like this, like, because I've had moments like that too, where I'm saying something that in my mind is like something we should all be thinking about. And then I realize saying it out loud, how fucking insane it sounds. And then you're kind of like, oh, never mind. It's like, well, you didn't answer your phone, so what I thought maybe happened was that you were killed like in a wreck, and that so I was looking online to see what car accidents were, and like as you're saying it, you're like, I'm crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. That would be really funny if one of the writers was actually like OCD. It would make so much sense.
Yes.
Darlene suggests tracking down JB, who turns out to be William Bloodworth. Present at the Skyview as a child with his mother and the last to die in Iris's original premonition, he explains that Iris found him years later and they learned about death's rules together. He explains to the family that there are 2 ways to defeat death: taking another life or being clinically dead and then resuscitated, citing Kimberly Corman as an example. Bloodworth departs, expecting his own cancer to claim him after Iris's bloodline ends, and wishes the family luck.
I teared up at this scene.
It's beautiful.
Rest in peace, Tony Todd.
So nice to see him. I was so glad. I didn't know he was going to be in the film. And so when he showed up, it was just such a lovely surprise.
I heard that final speech he does, like they let him write that, like whatever you want to say. Because it is kind of like he passed away, you know, I don't know how soon after filming ended, you know, but probably thought this might be his like last role. And so it like hit me also a little bit hard, like, you know, just thinking about like my dad and stuff, and like to know that Tony Todd had like passed away after this, like, but you feel so much love for him. Like, he seemed like a really awesome guy.
Yeah, we love him so much. WoHos, go back and listen to our Candyman episode.
We're big fans.
Eric persuades Bobby to attempt the second strategy by triggering a fatal allergic reaction with nuts and then reviving him. And I should say, Eric is really snarky and clever, you know, a smart aleck, but Bobby is just a sweet, innocent little man. He's just like so sweet. He's probably a little dim. He has this.
He loves turtles.
Oh, yes. Paco. Oh, no.
Not Paco.
Oh, no. So they first, you know, he agrees to it. But first, Eric's going to get him some unsalted nuts from the vending machine. He's like, fuck that, dude. If I'm going to go out, give me those. And it's like Reese's peanut butter cups or whatever. But there's a mishap with the vending machine, and one of the springs gets like really distended.
And when he eats it, and at first he's like, oh, and Eric's like, what's wrong? And he's like, that's really good.
Oh, man. So funny. The plan backfires when a malfunctioning MRI machine rips out Eric's piercings, pulls him in, and a wheelchair impales and crushes him before a coil from a vending machine launches into Bobby's head. Wow.
This one, I mean, like, his dick piercing comes out. Like,
yes.
That, it was like, oh, no. And then, like, he's folded, you know, and then, like Bobby finally gets the EpiPen because his face is all like, you know, he's going into shock. And then right as he gets it, pew, spring in his head. And then it just keeps turning and turning. This also belongs in the MoMA, you know,
yeah.
Like this is part 2. Well, part 3 after the very first scene. Like they just kept outdoing themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. This one is really disturbing on lots of levels. You guys have got to see it if you haven't seen it already. Go rewatch it.
Yes.
Stephanie, Charlie, and Darlene drive to Iris's cabin to conceal Darlene from death. They crash through the front gate and Stephanie's seatbelt jams. The cabin explodes, sending the RV into the water where Stephanie begins to drown. Darlene saves Charlie before being bisected by a lamppost, and Charlie rescues and resuscitates Stephanie.
Honestly, I was not a fan of this scene. I felt like all the other ones felt so fun and creative, but this one I was kind of just waiting for it to be over. if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of that to it. You're sort of like, let's get to the end. They did blow up that cabin. That's not
Wow.
CG, which I thought was pretty great. You can sort of tell, you know,
Yeah.
it looks like a real explosion. 1 week later, the father of Charlie's prom date, a physician, informs them that Stephanie was never clinically dead because she was resuscitated before cardiac arrest. Moments later, a timber-carrying freight train derails nearby, and its cargo fatally crushes the siblings.
This is such an oh shit moment because you know it's not over because it like the scene is the same kind of like opening as the very beginning of the movie, and also you just know there's no way this is over, and like the physician dad being like, well, you didn't die, and they're both like, what? He's like, well, yeah, you didn't die, like, you know, it's great that he resuscitated you, but yeah, you didn't die. And then it's almost like death was like, yep, and now here we go.
Oh, and then there is another Penny. I don't know the series of events, but remember the old lady opens up her little coin purse and there's a penny that drops.
And it goes to the train tracks, which makes the train derail.
Yes. So good. All right, here's some trivia. 71-year-old stunt woman Yvette Ferguson came out of retirement for a fire stunt in the premonition scene, which director Zach Lipovsky believes to be a world record for the oldest person set fire on camera. Ferguson admitted to enjoying the experience and recounted how the makeup artist would encourage her by turning on songs like Burn Baby Burn and Great Balls of Fire.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. You can see it I looked for her. You can definitely see her. She's a prominent character in the premonition scene. Yeah. This is the 4th consecutive Final Destination film to end with all the characters dying.
Wow.
The app the garbage truck driver is on is called Crusher.
That scene is so I was just like furiously swiping like right on all these women. Like you're just not expecting any of these things to actually make you laugh, and then you're laughing your ass off.
On September 23rd, 2022, Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein were officially announced as co-directors for the project. The directing duo are passionate fans of the series and even went so far as to orchestrate a death scene during their pitch meeting to the studio over Zoom, using a combination of pre-recorded footage and visual effects involving a fire and malfunctioning spinning ceiling fan, which broke from the ceiling and decapitated one of the filmmakers. Those involved in the meeting, including executives and producers, erupted into laughter. And I heard there's
That's
no
crazy.
like tape of that. It was done live.
Damn.
So yeah, we can't see it.
Wow.
Briefly, what does Letterboxd have to say about it? Bella Boo gave it 5 stars. See a penny, pick it up. All day long, you'll have good luck. Wait. Chase 555 gave it 5 stars. Wow, what a masterpiece. CJ was right all along. This is golden.
I don't know who CJ is.
No, but he was, or she, or they were right. Kieran gave it 5 stars. Trying to pick a favorite kill is like asking a parent to choose their favorite child.
Yeah.
Yes. James gave it a 0.5 star. Ass of all ass. The end pissed me off so bad, and all the acting was horse shit. Never watching a movie I'm recommended again.
Ass of all ass.
Abel gave it a 0.5 star. Saw this on the last date with my ex.
Oh.
Oof. That's rough.
Yeah. And she turns to you, and it's over.
Not even this film could save our relationship.
Sad.
Ben Gave it a half star. Dog shit. Crying laughing emoji. Why ruin a legendary franchise with this trash? P.S. Even the movie title isn't grammatically correct.
Was that true?
No, it's fine.
What are they even talking about?
I don't
And it's
know.
also like, dog, if you thought like the last, like if 5, 4, and 3 were good, watch them again. When's the last time you watched them? Because this one is so good. I mean, everybody's got their opinion, but dare I say it is my favorite one.
I think it's, it might be my favorite too. I mean, the acting is really strong, I think, in this, especially compared to the other ones. But I mean, just in general, everybody's pretty solid.
The deaths are just so, they like, this movie knows what it is. It knows that you have seen Final Destination before and that you like, clearly it was made with so much love. And I think they're able to play on that to keep things fresh and interesting, because you'll be like, oh, I know where it's going. And then you don't.
Right. Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, how would we rate it? How about in little shards of glass?
5 painful shards of glass.
Yeah, me too. I was like, am I going to give it 5? Yes, I think goddamn so.
Yeah. I can't think
of
anything
anything wrong?
I would do different.
Yeah.
No.
There's nothing wrong with this film.
It's perfect.
What have we learned? Be careful.
Well, might not even help.
Yeah, it might not help you.
Enjoy the time that you've got.
That's right. Just like Tony Todd said.
Yeah. Like, you don't know when it'll be over. So try to live in a way that, let's say it did all end tomorrow. You'd be like, well, I did my best.
Would we watch it again? Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have a favorite scene and or kill?
I guess I'll have to say the first one, because it's so good and very long.
It's really good. It's like 20 minutes. Yeah. It's like
its own movie.
Yeah. It's, oh my gosh. It's just like this little piece of the chandelier falls and hits the glass floor and like causes this little like crack in the floor. And you're just like, no. And then everybody's like dancing to that song Shout. And they're like jumping up and down on the glass floor. And I'm like, oh my God, so scary. I just got a little, like my tummy turned over, just like, oh man, so scary. Yeah.
It's all your biggest fears coming true for something like that. And them being like, we finished it 5 months ahead of schedule. And Iris is like, is that good?
Yeah. I will never, ever be, that high up in the sky if I'm not on a plane, if I can help it. I mean, too scary for me. I have no interest in that.
No. It's like, it's like we don't have to put our lives into fate's hands. Like, we don't have to do that,
I think if it's not that one, then it's the backyard scene.
Yeah.
It's really good. I want to go watch it now. It's like really so good. And it has such a beautiful crescendo. Mm-hmm. So great. Well, who wins the You Fool Award?
Maybe the two bros.
Bobby and Eric.
Because Eric was out scot-free, but he pissed Death off. So
that's right. That's another thing that
got the worst
Tony Todd said. If you piss Death off, it can get really messy.
And oh boy.
Did it ever.
Did it get messy.
Well, thank you, Mac, for having this conversation with me about A Day and Final Destination Bloodlines.
It was lovely.
And thank you, WoHos, for joining us and for all your support. It means the world of horror to us, truly. We appreciate you downloading the show and telling all your friends all about us. Next time, we will be looking at feel-good fall movies with The Nightmare Before Christmas and K-pop Demon Hunters. Remember, WoHos, we love you and don't go into the basement.